Hello everyone. I want to tell you the story of my hometown today. And somebody may be wondering, oh, what's so special about his hometown? I want you to stay glued to this video so that at the end of the day you understand the potentials of my hometown. And I bet you at the end of this video you're going to invest in my hometown because it pays to invest in my hometown. And somebody's asking, where's his hometown? Hold on now. I wait small. I'm coming. Why they rush now? All right. Growing up in Ogbomoso, in the late 70s and the early 80s, I saw a lot of things happen to properties and developments, firsthand. I was not told. And let me shock you, since I was born, I have never stayed outside of Ogbomoso for a straight 3 months before, till now, and I'm over 50. So I saw firsthand how properties were sold, land was sold, the places that were called bush, the places that were called city, the places that were that nobody would even want to think of going to buy anything. I saw all of that. And I also saw that growing up, Ogbomoso happened to be the largest in Southwest after Ibadan in terms of land mass. So fast forward, in the 80s, how much was cement? How much was a piece of land? They were sold for almost a dash. And some people never bought. And some people felt, that place is too far, I'm not buying. But I will never forget my grandmother. I kept going to her because I grew up watching her do it. She will buy every 2-3 years. She will buy where you think is not the city center. She will buy city center. All the places she bought then that were not the city center are now city center. Fast forward in 1990, Ogbomoso was blessed with a university, LAUTECH and Ayede University. Today, LAUTECH and Ayede University alone houses over 40,000 people, over 35,000 students, close to 5,000 or more staffs and ad hoc staffs. Now, to add to it are the traders within the same community and around. And the effect of LAUTECH in Ogbomoso, and not just LAUTECH, because I'm not going to limit it to that, because after LAUTECH came some other development like Bowen Teaching Hospital, the Baptist Theological Seminary expanded. Now we have a cultural school approved by the federal government and several others. Now, my point is this. Ogbomoso is a gateway between the north and southwest. Ogbomoso is a gateway between the north and Lagos as well. We have a lot of passerby. Ogbomoso people are predominantly traders and farmers. Now, again, land in Ogbomoso, back in those days, I'll give an example. General area in the 80s, nobody will go to that place, except the fact that there is a general hospital in that place. Immediately after the general hospital, it was all bush. And as a matter of fact, when LAUTECH came in 1990, we began to see little development in that area because the then Ogbomoso Guest High School was converted as the permanent site of Oyo State, then Oyo State University of Technology, and later changed to LAUTECH and Ayede University of Technology. Now, my point is, back in the 80s, if they dash you land in that area, you will never take it. Not to now talk of come and buy. I remember vividly where in 1992 November, when I entered the university as a young adult, and I remember vividly where, I told you before that I was born into property sales and buying because of my grandmother. So back then, I did a search that, okay, in this area where there's university now, blah, 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 and development is coming, how much is land? If I tell you, you'll be shocked. If I tell you, you'll be shocked. They were still selling land for 150 naira in that area. 150 naira, 200 naira, 250 naira, depending. In fact, by the time I was done in the university, land within that vicinity were still sold for it has increased. It went from those 150, 200 naira and all that to 50,000 naira, 45,000 naira, 70,000 naira, depending on the location within that block of community. There was a road then. As a student, it was a footpath. There's something the Yorubas called Okomalu. It was cattle that used to pass through that road for grazing. So students felt that, this is a footpath. It's shorter to town than going through the main road. And then also the main road, there was no express then. The main road was full of trailers. So it was easier for students to pass through the back, which we now named Under G back in those days. And the full meaning of Under G is the underground road. So we shortened it to Under G. We used to pass through it. It was a footpath. Now, some of you who now know that road, that Stadium Under G road, that is now, glowing, tarred, beautiful, with beautiful structures on both sides, light blazing through the night, and, beautiful, wonderful area. it used to be a footpath. It was cattle that used to pass through that place. However, fast forward, today as I speak to you, those under G, if they dash you in the 80s, you will not collect, not to talk of buying. If they ask you to come and buy in the early 90s and the late 90s, you will think twice about it. You may not even buy. A plot on under G Road now, as I speak to you, is not less than 45 million naira. You don't have to shout, or you don't have to shout. Just come and confirm yourself. It's not less than 45 million naira cash. And that's the truth. Now imagine when they wanted to dash you in the 80s, you took 10 plots. Or imagine in the early 90s, when LAUTECH came, and you saw that, oh, this thing can develop. You bought 10 plots or 20 plots. Imagine what it will be today. Now, sometimes ago, there was Ayede Polytechnic that the federal government gave Ogbomoso. Before Ayede Polytechnic came, nobody will buy land at Ayede. Nobody will buy land at Iresa. No. Now, their temporary site presently, which is Iresa, from Taki Ogbomoso to Iresa now, on both sides, you will find houses. In the 80s, in the 90s, even in the 2000s, it was not so. I remember vividly well, if they asked anybody to go to Federal Government College Ogbomoso, not to now talk of Onigbinde farms, down after federal government. If they want to dash you land there, you will not go. You will not even take it. Today, not only from Taki to Federal Government College Ogbomoso, even to Onigbinde farms, beyond Onigbinde farm to Ikoyi town, Ikoyile, on both sides are houses. You don't have to argue with me. Drive through and check. Now, the same thing has started happening from Randa to Ishenyi now. From Randa to Fakote, I can bet you there's no available land again. And on like that. And even on that Randa road, development has started going. Now, the state government has built a terminal there already. They have completed it. It's not that they just want to do it. Now, my dear brothers and sisters, I just want to add this. You can find out, you can go and check. There is no state capital in Southwest except Lagos that the rate of property appreciation is as much as Ogbomoso. Don't argue with me, go and find out. I have the data. If you want more, I can give you. Now, don't forget, every year, Ogbomoso houses multi-billion naira investment in cashew trade, mango trade, cassava trade, and several others. And likewise, Ogbomoso houses the second largest daily market in Oyo State, and that is Odoba. If you don't know, that is where the prices of grains are being determined in Southwest Nigeria, as far as to Benin. You see, what you don't know, you don't know. Me, I know, I am telling you. And if you're arguing with me, please argue in the comment section. I will respond to you anytime I have your time. And not only that, if you're arguing with me, come and find out. Or come and invest first in Ogbomosho. And then with the advent of the leadership that we have had within Ogbomosho community over the years and up until now, it has affected development, appreciation of properties a great deal. That's affected it positively. And I told you in one of my videos what a wise man said, Pastor Lumide Emmanuel, that any place that is 30 to 1 hour drive from the present city center is the city center tomorrow. That it is time for us to own a piece of the heart and understand how development works. Don't wait to buy land. Buy land and wait. Thank you very much. My name is Dewkon Harvest Field, and I'm a principal partner at Dewkon Harvest Field. Thank you.